Yeah, I think we can move on to the second day of qualifying, but I just want to reiterate that there was a world where Ronnefalk had a TQ, a
Hmm.
second, and a third after day one, but it was a TQ third and a 10th, thanks to crashing on that last corner. So this race, I think, would have could have went very differently for Ronnefalk, but I do still think eventually the reason that Davis finished as low as he did was the rain. Rain on Thursday night, and it changed a lot of people's races. But it did not change Orlowski's or Karup's race at all, because those two, they were in the top three after day one, and they stayed in the top three until the end. Um, so on Friday night, no shakedown. I think that's something to
It's
mention.
Thursday night, Friday
Thursday
morning.
night, yeah. Friday morning, no shakedown whatsoever. So straight to qualifiers, and then even a bit more difficulty for these guys. The heat that started the round was heat number 6, if I'm not totally wrong. So you had six, no, 5. So
Five.
with five, 6, 7, and then 8 was the first of the top heats. So
No.
basically,
Heat 8 was the top heat.
yeah.
Was the first top. Well, sorry, Heat 8 was the first top heat.
Yeah. So the round was started from heat 5.
Okay.
So basically, it was a damp track. It was like ridiculous. Like Joe Wiggins went out on green reflexes, and he was sliding out there. You know, like he had the softest tire that should be the best suited for those conditions, and he was like sliding out there, making like donuts almost. Um, and those guys were doing like 37s or something, you know, like 4 seconds of the pace that they were doing a day before. So the first three heats were total, like there was no chance to be really fast. Then when you go heat 8, yes, it's a little bit better already, and the differences between heats get smaller, but there definitely was a big deficit to the guys in the first heat. So the only guys who did well from the first heat were Canas and Boda. Rest of the guys did not do very well. Um, Boda went out with super soft race tires, which actually they then gave to Karup, who went fastest, and then they gave to Yona, who unfortunately didn't have as good run. But yeah, Heat 2 was, I think, better. And if you look at Heat 3, Becca was in there. You were out with softs too. You weren't out with super
Yeah,
soft, I don't
I
think.
was at the same
And
tire as normal.
yeah, so you were out with softs and you still made top 10. Joey Bourdon was out in the last heat. He went out with green reflexes and he got a top 10.
No, he
So
was out there in Heat. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he was out in the last heat. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't the
He
last.
was there because I was there.
No. I was
Um,
thinking of something else. I apologize.
yeah. Yeah. So I think that was sort of it didn't really change anything that round. But if Fend was stressing after day one, he was really stressing after this one. He did go out in the last heat, so he had the freedom to choose the best tire of the heats before. Canas did do well with J Concepts rubber. Joey Bourdon did well with J Concepts rubber, so I don't think there was any excuse of that matter. But the big issue was that the X-ray cars looked horrible in the Q4. You could just see Ronnefalk's like fishtailing everywhere. It
Mhm.
looked like a piece of shit he was driving around that track. And I think what happened was Orlowski and Kobbevik, they were fast. Why were they fast? Well, they were fast because they didn't touch their cars after Thursday. All they did was put on different tires, you know, to match the conditions. Whereas the sort of X-ray team, what they did, they went softer on diffs, they went softer here and there. And what happened was, for some reason, although the grip was lower, it wasn't low enough where the cars wouldn't have that same amount of sort of roll. You still had all that roll. The difference was that you didn't have the sort of forward traction that you normally have, and I think that killed the speed. And yes, there was more give, and the cars were sliding around. But yeah, that was, I think that's eventually what killed Fen. That if because the track changed so much for Friday. And it never really came back. I was expecting either the track to get polished or then for the track to go back to the high grip. But even by Q5, the guys were still a second and a half of pace. And I think Q6, it kind of stabilized there. So Karup took the TQ in Q4, solidified his TQ by Q5 because Ronnefalk did not get a TQ. He was the only one who could take it away from him. And then Q6, Karup was just testing stuff, which allowed Orlowski to take 2 TQs. And I think this is what's the most baffling thing to me. So with Fend and Ronnefalk, they're running the same car as Orlowski. Okay, Orlowski goes second, first, and first for Friday, and the X-Ray team drops off the face of the earth on Friday. And this is to me the interesting part, that I think I said this on our recap, that it's not the car. X-Ray didn't work worse on that day. The team didn't know what to do. And that was their issue. They made the wrong setup choices. Like if you look at like Pekko, he was fast on first day of qualifying. Cavalier was fast on the first day of qualifying. And Pekko was fast on the second day of qualifying. If you look at Orlowski, Karup, all of the guys who had a solid base, they were good both days. You know, there was very few people who sort of was good the other day and bad the other day, except X-Ray, the sort of X-Ray core team. And it's not the car. We know that because Kobbevik and Orlowski were fast both days. And I think that's a very big insight, that, you know, a lot of the times when we look at these races from like the spectator point of view, we're like, oh, the Associated absolutely love that condition, or the X-Ray absolutely love that condition. In reality, it could just be that the team didn't know what to do. They didn't know what setup changes to make. It was not the car. It was just that they went the wrong way in setup. Well, I mean, sure, it's the car that you put the setup on, but like you could have made any car work on that setup. Yeah.
Before Pekka goes, you did bring up a good point in our recap that day, was that the X-Ray team kind of blocked Orlowski and Kobbevik out of all setup discussion. That's what you was told.
Yeah.
And maybe they shouldn't have, because Orlowski and Kobbevik were still going fast, right? So that was a bobble on them on that sense, because the X-Ray stars never looked the same as they did the first couple of days.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Tekno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Tekno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.teknorc.com.